Well, so the topic of the day is motor protection. You all know about the motor insurance. You all have seen the motor comprehensive package policy. You all presume that in a comprehensive policy, every kind of risk is covered, except exclusions. But there is still something which is neither mentioned in the exclusions nor in the coverage. So the policy is a package policy. Policy is a comprehensive policy. Policy is uniform to almost all the categories of the vehicle insurance. May it be a two-wheeler, private car, commercial vehicle, or even misdeed vehicles. Policy is uniform to all the general insurance companies of India. But still, there is something is missing in the policy. You know, the motor policy is having three important sections. Motor policy is having three important sections. One is own damage. Second is third party liability. And third is personal accident coverage. In all package policies of any vehicle, you will find all these three things. In all package policies of all the general insurance companies, you will find these three things. There is no confusion at all. But the important question is, own damage section covers the liability of vehicle only. Third party liability covers the liability of third party only. Personal accident coverage covers the liability of death and disability of owner cum driver only, or even occupants. But still something is missing. Because liability could be very wider. If the vehicle goes in the hands of the police, if the vehicle is seized, if there is a criminal case for the rash and negligent driving on the driver of the vehicle or owner of the vehicle, that kind of risk is neither part of the own damage risk nor of the third party risk. Are you getting my point? If the vehicle is in the custody of the police, insurance company will say, we don't know anything. This is your duty to take the vehicle from the police custody. For this, we are not responsible. If there is any criminal case on the owner cum driver, for any accident, for any rash and negligent driving, for any death, or for any disability, or for any property damage, insurance company will say, we are not responsible for this. We will pay the compensation to the third person, to the owner of the property, as per the limits and the provisions of the Motor Vehicle Act 1988. But for the defense of criminal case, which could put you behind the bars, which can penalize you financially, insurance company is not responsible. In simple terms, there are certain liabilities which are not part of the comprehensive package policy or even third party policy either. So for these things, no company will provide you the coverage. No company of India. Because these are neither covered in the package policy nor in the third party policy. They are neither part of the OD risk nor of the third party risk. So the coverage is not there. Question is, motor is not a new branch. Motor is there since the beginning of the insurance. Since then till today, no company has given a thought to it. That almost in every accidental case, in every there is a criminal case against the owner cum driver or driver because of the rash and negligent driving. But for that there is no defense at all. If the third person has died, third person has suffered a liability, third person has suffered a disability, insurance company will pay the compensation. That provision is there. Because third party liability is there as per the provisions of the Motor Vehicle Act 1988. So that provision is there. But for those risks which are not covered under the policy, this is the Shriram General Insurance Company which has come out with a new product called Shri Motor Protection. So the Shri Motor Protection is a policy that is monopoly of Shriram General Insurance only. Motor Protection is a policy which you will not find with any other general insurance company of India. Even today. Reason being, no company has come out with such a product. Unfortunately, one more thing. If the motor vehicle insurance policy is issued by a different company and the owner wants the coverage for motor protection, that is for defense of the criminal case and release of the vehicle from the police custody, we have got one more policy that can be given to those owner of vehicles who have taken the insurance policy from another company. So these two provisions are there with us. Now let us understand the first one first. I'm sharing the presentation with you. Let's see what this add-on cover is called. This concept will have to be very clear in your mind. This is not a policy, this is only an add-on cover. And you must know the four things about an add-on cover. Add-on cover means this is a risk which is not covered under the basic policy. This is not the part of the inbuilt coverage. Add-on cover means this is an additional risk which is covered on additional payment of premium. Add-on cover means this is voluntary. This is as per option of the insured. Add-on cover means there could be any number of add-on covers. The choice is of the owner of the vehicle to take or not to take. So let us be very clear, this is not a policy, this is only an add-on cover, which is given along with the motor vehicle insurance policy. What is the Shri protection? Shri motor protection. This provides the coverage on payment of additional premium by the insured, because this is an add-on cover or a rider. If any motor accident arising out of the use of the insured vehicle, in that case the company will provide you an advocate to guide or to defend the insured from police and proceedings in the court of judicial hospital. So the basic coverage is to provide an advocate to guide or defend the insured from the police and proceedings in the court of judicial magistrate. Listen carefully, this is very important. This is an add-on cover which is provided on additional premium. This comes into the action when any motor accident arising out of the use of insured vehicle, and unfortunately in such a situation the vehicle is seized by the police, or there is a criminal case against the driver or owner of the vehicle. Insurance company will not defend that case under the motor insurance policy. But if this add-on cover is taken, that liability is covered. Even the liability of taking the vehicle from the police custody through an advocate, because the custody is given by the court, that is called supurdagee. So that delivery can be taken through the advocate by defending the case before the court of law. So for that purpose also advocate is required, and to defend the insured before the court in the criminal proceedings. Again the advocate is required. But this coverage is available on certain conditions. Accident must take place within the policy period and must be reported to SGI no later than 7 days from the date of accident. Normally, people are intimating the loss in the week, fortnight, or even in months. But in this case, not later than 7 days. Immediately or not later than 7 days from the date of accident. Secondly, due to Mr. Pulla Venkat, mute yourself, some disturbance is there. Due to act of God and factors beyond the control of insurance company, such as peak traffic, climatic conditions, public holidays, or remoteness of location, there could be delay in providing the services by the insurance company. The benefit under city motor protection can be utilized for a maximum of 2 claims during the policy period. Today, as on date, the services under city motor protection are not available in certain states of East India, like Andaman Nicobar Island, Arunachal, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Ladakh, Lakshadweep, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, and Tripura. Why? Because the company need a pan-India network of advocates to provide you to defend the proceedings before the court of law. Suppose you have taken the insurance policy from the Chennai office. You are driving it at Hyderabad and there you met with an accident. So you will need an advocate of Hyderabad to defend the case. Or suppose you have travelled through your vehicle up to Delhi. And in Delhi, you met with an accident. Of course, you need an advocate of Delhi to defend the case before the court of the Delhi. Because that case will be within the jurisdiction of the Delhi area. So, company need a pan-India network of advocates to defend the insured. Company have got a pan-India network except in certain part of eastern country or eastern. And these are few states and union territories like Andaman Nicobar, Arunachal, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Ladakh, Lakshadweep, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura. Rest of India, the advocate is available. In case of transfer of ownership of the insured vehicle, the cover under City Motor Protection Select means if the owner of vehicle has sold his vehicle to any other person, motor policy is transferred in his favor or not, but the City Motor Protection will apply. Even if the policy is transferred in his name, still City Motor Protection cannot be transferred in his name. Secondly, jurisdiction and territorial limit is within India. You know, the motor insurance policy can be extended beyond the geographical limits of India. That is Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Maldives. But this motor protection cannot be provided to these countries also. Because on additional payment of premium, the policy can be extended. The geographical area of the policy can be extended to Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Maldives, but not the coverage of Shri Motor Protection. If at any time claim is deemed not to be covered under this policy or is found to be excluded, then all such costs which have been incurred by the SGI on your account must be returned to SGI. So the point is, this Shri Motor Protection is available across the country, but not beyond the country. If the vehicle is transferred, this add-on cover will not function. And there are certain exclusions of the motor insurance policy. If the risk is excluded under the motor insurance policy, the risk under the Shri Motor Protection also is excluded. Say for example, for any legal action which is false, fraudulent, exaggerated, or where insured have made misrepresentations, obviously the claim will be repeated. Motor protection will also not work there. Where at the time of the insured incident insured were disqualified from driving, did not hold a valid driving license, failed to comply with any laws relating to the vehicle ownership or use. Under these circumstances also the insurance company is not on risk for any cost or amount pertaining to defense costs incurred without SGI permission SGI's written permission, or where the insured incident occurred before insurance purchased. Means before purchasing the insurance, if any incident has taken place, for that the SGI is not responsible, because that is an exclusion of the policy. Among others, for deliberate, willful or intentional self-compliance of any statutory provision, company is not liable. An aspect of a claim made or considered against SGI or another insured person under the same policy, company is not liable. Claim against SGI. If the insured or any other person is driving the insured vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or any other intoxicating substance. These are exclusions of the policy. Exclusions of the motor insurance policy are also exclusions of the civil motor protection. For any claim based upon arising from or attributable to a wrongful act or circumstances, which was known to the insured or the insured should have known before or at the inception date of the policy. Under those circumstances also, as they will not be responsible for the civil motor protection. So these are the exclusions of the motor policy itself, which are also applicable to civil motor protection. Now, if you are giving this add-on cover to any of your customers, buyer, friend, relatives, in that case the important thing is how the premium will be charged. So to charge the premium there is a simple fundament. If a motor two-wheeler package policy is there, premium is fixed 450 rupees plus 18% tax. If standalone motor OD two-wheeler policy is there, same premium 450 plus tax. If the bundle motor two-wheeler policy is there, same premium 450 plus tax. So under all the circumstances of two-wheeler, the premium will be 450 plus tax. If you are giving it with a two-wheeler motor insurance policy, the premium of two-wheeler policy will be charged plus 450 with tax will be charged. Then this civil motor protection can be given. Or if the two-wheeler is already insured, this belongs to your friend, you told them one day, our company has come out with a wonderful add-on cover which is providing the protection. If a vehicle is seized in any accident by the police custody, or if there is any criminal proceedings against you before the magistrate court, we will protect you, our company will provide you an advocate to defend you. Your friend got impressed. He said, okay, you give it to me, I'll pay for that. Policy has already run for 7 months. Now for remaining 5 months you want to give, you can. You can still give it. What you will do? There is a short period scale to charge the premium. If you are giving it for 5 months or exceeding 5 months, you have to charge 60% premium of 450 and that would be 270. 270 plus tax on it. So this add-on cover can also be given even the mid-term of the policy. As the vehicle is already insured. But this you are giving on the policy which is issued by the Shriram only. If the policy is issued by any other company, in that case we cannot provide the mid-term coverage. And suppose the vehicle is private car. On the same quarter, the premium will be charged. Here, because the private car belongs to the higher value, higher CC, premium will be higher. If a private car package policy is there, up to the CC of 1000, premium would be 1050. Up to the CC of 1500, from 1000 CC to 1500, premium would be 1850. And if the vehicle is of more than 1500 cc, the premium would be 1150 only plus tax. And if the car policy is stand-alone motor OD policy, still you can give it. Because this is part of the motor policy only. Normally we give it to package policy only. But if the standalone motor body is there, still we can do it. On the same premium, up to 1000 cc 1050, up to 1500 cc 1850, above 1500 cc 1150. If the one-ton motor private car policy is there, still you can do it at the same premium rate. That means there is only a difference of amount of premium in case of two-wheelers and private cars. Method is same. Method is same. Either it's a package policy or it's a standalone motor policy or it's a bundled motor private car policy. Again on the short period PA scale also. Because the premium on the basis of short period scale is little higher than the pro rata premium. Insurance company charge the premium on the short period scale. This is not the case that if the premium is 450 and if the add-on cover is required for 6 months, this is given at the 50% of the premium now. For the remaining 6 months, the premium will be charged according to the short period scale. And for 6 months, it would be 75% of the premium. So here again, in case of private car, same 3 categories are there, up to 1000 cc, up to 1500 cc and over 1500 cc. And the premium is already calculated for 1 month to 12 months. Over 8 months, 100% premium is charged. Short period scale is applicable only up to 8 months. Over 8 months, 100%. Even for 8 months, 90% premium is charged. Third situation is the vehicle could be a commercial vehicle. So in addition to the premium chargeable on the commercial vehicle, if the add-on cover Sri Motor Protection is given, the additional premium for this add-on cover would be on the basis of GVW in case of goods carrying commercial vehicles. So goods carrying commercial vehicles are always insured on the basis of GVW. For example, up to 7,500 kilogram, 1,000 rupees premium. From 7,500 to 12,000, 1,300 premium. From or over 12,000 kilogram, the premium is 1,400. This is applicable only in case of goods carrying commercial vehicle. Goods carrying commercial vehicle as well as passenger carrying commercial vehicle, both are part of the commercial vehicles. So the first category is goods carrying commercial vehicle and second one is passenger carrying commercial vehicle. So on the same pattern, if the passenger carrying commercial vehicle is there, the premium will be charged according to the 3-wheeler passenger carrying capacity up to 6,500. 3-wheeler passenger carrying capacity from 6 to 17,500. 4-wheeler passenger carrying capacity up to 6 and up to 1000 cc, 800. 4-wheeler passenger carrying capacity up to 6 and above 1000 cc to 1500 cc, 1450. 4-wheeler passenger carrying capacity up to 6 and 1500 cc, 800. 4 or more wheeled passenger carrying capacity above 6 and 3-wheeler above 17 passengers. Premium would be 1100. So for each kind of category, that is GCCB, PCCB, the premium is charged separately according to the capacity of GVW in GCCB and according to the passenger carrying capacity in PCCB. So the PM not to be worked out, this is already decided as per the chart. Your load has been reduced. If the commercial vehicle has to be insured on short period basis, means not for complete year, means the policy has already run for some time. There again you can provide the Shri Motor Protection at the mid-time cover. So the Shri Motor Protection can be given even at the inception of the policy or even in the mid-term of the policy coverage. Here again the premium is calculated from 1 month to 8 months. Over 8 months the premium chargeable would be 100%. So categories are same according to GVW and according to number of passengers. All commercial vehicles can be issued. Now certain things you have to understand. In case of Act only or third party policy, Shri Motor Protection add-on cannot be given. In such a case, Shri Motor legal aid policy can be given, which is also providing the same coverage. Shri Motor legal aid policy is not available on short period scale or for a short period. However, for unexpired period of policy, refund can be given, but for short period it cannot be given. Shri Motor Protection can be given even if the vehicle is insured in the name of firm or company or individual. Liability of owner of the vehicle shall be defended in both circumstances of taking the supurdagee of the vehicle and in the court of judicial magistrate. For that purpose, the company will provide the advocate. How to get assistance in case of if the vehicle is taken into custody by the police, or some accident has happened, or some road fatality has happened, or some road disability has happened. In such a case, the first job of the insured is to intimate the loss to the insurance company on toll-free numbers, or by mail ID, or by your own telephone, or on the website of Jagendra. So in a package policy, if the insured is opting to take the Shri Motor Protection at the time of inception only, in that case, this endorsement will be shown in the policy. How it is shown? This is types of endorsement. Here it is shown, Shri Motor Protection. That means the policy is also covering the risk of Shri Motor Protection if the vehicle is taken into the custody or summons from any other court have been received. Company will provide the advocate to defend the case. The few things are very clear now. Now, the endorsement issued either at the time of issuance of policy or even later has to be given in writing to the customer. Because that endorsement will bear the detail of that vehicle along with which this Shri Motor Protection is issued. Because this is only to add an additional risk. For that the additional premium has been paid by the issuer. So this is Shri Motor Protection. This is the main add-on cover. But on the same lines, there is another policy separately issued, or there is a standalone policy which can be issued to cover the same risk. Let us see what is that. This is Shri Motor Legal Aid Insurance Policy. Visible to all of you? So this policy is also providing the same coverage. But this is to provide, if the motor policy is third party policy, if the motor policy is issued by any other general insurance company, then only, because this is a standalone policy that can be issued separately. Motor protection is only an added cover, that is not a separate policy, that is not a standalone policy. So that will go along with the motor insurance policy only. What is the difference between this and Shri Motor protection? The Shri Motor Legal Aid Insurance policy is non-motor policy. But this says, in the same conditions, in case of consideration of payment of premium by the insured, in case of any motor accident arising out of the use of the vehicle, the insurance company will provide an advocate to defend you from police proceedings and in the court of judicial magistrate. Here again the premium chart is shown. For the premium of this separate policy, two-wheeler the same premium 450. Private car the same premium 105018501150. Commercial vehicle the same premium for GCCB and PCCBs. Here the commercial vehicle machinery structure is also added. But that the premium is 475. Short period is also the same. From 1 month to 8 months. And for more than 8 months, 100% premium is chargeable. But these short period rates are for the refund. Because this Shri Legal Aid policy cannot be given for short period. This is a complete 1 year policy. And policy is available for all category of vehicles. Bundled product may be a private car or two-wheeler. Comprehensive policy may be a private car, two-wheeler or commercial vehicles. Standalone liability may be a private car, two-wheeler and commercial vehicles. Or standalone OD or private car or two-wheelers. With all these category of vehicles, the policy can be issued. And the same way this is shown in the policy. If it is issued to any vehicle, here the detail is mentioned. Now this legal aid policy can be issued through mobile application, Nova Connect or Nova. This facility is also there. Line of business is non-motor, miscellaneous. Commission is 15%. For assistance, the same method is there. 2 toll-free numbers. Intimation can be given by mobile, by mail, or on the Sriram website. But certain conditions are there, and these conditions are important. Because if you are opting for this policy, there has to be a valid mandatory motor insurance policy from any of the general insurance companies of India. Then only this will be given. The action must take place within 7 days. Sorry, the intimation must be given within 7 days. The coverage will not be available to vehicles used for the purpose of racing, rallies, motorsports, because that is an exclusion of the motor policy. Due to act of God, if there is any delay, such as peak traffic, climate conditions, public holidays, promoters of location, in that case, insured has to bear with the insurance company. The benefits under Sri Motor Legal Aid Assistance policy can be utilized for maximum of 2 claims during the policy period. Similar is the Sri Motor Protection. Same area for Pan India, only Eastern India is the area where our advocate network is not there. So there we are not going to provide this facility. In case of transfer of ownership of the insured vehicle, the cover will automatically cease. Geographical limits will not be extended beyond India. Or condition continues. Base mandatory motor insurance policy should be enforced at the time of accident. Means if the vehicle is taken into the police custody, that time it is found that the motor insurance policy was not there. Only this legal aid policy was there. So the risk of motor vehicle is not covered. Police a court will impose a fine or penalty. For that, insurance company will not pay it, because that is the violation of the law. Without a valid motor insurance policy, how the vehicle is driven on a public place? That is the violation of the Motor Vehicle Act 1988. Cancellation clause is there. If the insured want to get the policy cancelled, will be refunded the premium for the unexpired period of risk. Same kind of exclusions are applicable here also. What we have seen in the motor insurance policy. For example, false, fraudulent, exaggerated, or representation made by the insured is not covered. If the driver of the vehicle was disqualified, you are not having a valid driving license, if you have to comply with any other laws relating to vehicle ownership, here again that is excluded. Any cost of the insured has paid from out of this packet without permission of the CI, that will not be reimbursed. If the insured incident has occurred before purchasing the Shri Legal Aid policy, insurance company is not responsible. For any deliberate, willful or intentional non-compliance of any statutory provision provided in the court judgment, insurance company is not responsible. If the insured or any other person is driving the insured vehicle under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or any intoxicating substance, still the insurance company is not responsible. These are the clear-cut exclusions of the policy. Motor vehicle policy does not cover this kind of risk, so the motor protection will also not cover the risk. And the other exclusions also, like any accidental loss or damage to the liability caused or sustained or incurred outside the geographical area. This policy will not come into the picture. Though this is complete separate policy, this is not an add-on cover. But this will not provide the coverage beyond the Indian territorial limits. For any accident, loss or damage or liability cost sustained or incurred by being used otherwise than in accordance with the limitations as to use. Either the DL was not renewed, DL was not owned, or DL they expired few days back before the incident, or the vehicle was driven into the influence of liquor, drugs, or intoxicating substance. Actually, the liability is not covered. Consequential losses are also not covered. Consequential loss means any incident which is resulting into the losses to the insured due to accident are not covered. In addition, nuclear risk is excluded from all the policies. Not only nuclear risk, civil war, mutiny, revelation, military or nuclear power. These are the common exclusions of the policy. If mandatory motor insurance policy is not enforced at the time of accident, neither this motor protection nor this legal aid insurance policy will pay the claim. This is clearly on the board. If any legal proceedings between any members of your family arising out of the covered event, that has nothing to do with this policy. Because this policy is to provide the solution under two special circumstances which are not covered under the motor package policy. OD part cover only the own damage risk of the vehicle. TP part covers the third party liability, that is compensation payable to the third person or to his nominees or legal heirs. Compensation payable to the property owner if the TPP is there. In case of PA, the compensation is payable to the owner cum driver. So under all these sections, the liability of criminal proceedings against the owner cum driver are not covered. The liability of taking the supurdagee from the police custody is also not covered. Your company is the first company which has come out with this kind of add-on cover or a separate policy which is providing these two coverages along with the motor policy or separately, which is still not provided by any other insurance company. But mind it, this motor protection is not a separate policy. This is only an add-on cover, but it can be given either at the time of commencement of taking a motor vehicle policy or at the mid-term of the policy, maybe after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 8 months. The basic funda to understand is one of them is policy, one of them is add-on cover only. So add-on cover alone, stand-alone does not work unless there is a policy. But the legal aid policy can work because that is a separate policy and that is non-motor policy and that is a miscellaneous policy. That can cover the risk of those vehicles also which are not covered under our motor vehicle policy. Because the motor policy can be taken by the owner of those vehicles from any of the general insurance companies of India. But since no other company is having this remote protection coverage of risk, so for that purpose they can come to you. The best part of this policy is this is a monopoly item of your company. There is no competition at all, neither in rating nor in coverage. Just because no company is having it. No company is having it, even today. Because still the people do not understand what liability this add-on cover is covering. And you know, at times, if you have faced any circumstances like that, where the vehicle is taken into the custody by the police, you never know how much money will be linked. You never know how much fees the advocate will charge. You never know how much time it will take to give the supurdagee of the vehicle. You never know how much time it will take to defend the criminal proceedings before the court of magistrate. All these things are uncertain. Not only uncertain, a huge amount can be incurred on it. Because if the proceedings are going for a very long period, advocate will charge on every date. But if the advocate is provided by the insurance company, he will charge nothing from you, nothing from the insurer. His fees will be paid by the insurance company. Because for that only this premium is charged. Only thing is, advocate will be provided on the same place where the case is filed, except the eastern region of the country. Because in eastern region we do not have the advocate network, we are not providing this facility. Rest of the southern, northern and western region, this facility is available. There only we are selling it. There only we are providing the advocate. And the advocate is defending under both the circumstances, for the supurdagee purpose or for the criminal court at the court of municipal magistrate or magistrate. So the concept has to be clear in your mind. What for this add-on cover is made, what is the purpose, what risk it is covering, how it is covering, at what stage this will come into the operation, who can take it, how he can take it, what premium is chargeable, when it doesn't work. All these things are relevant and important. Okay, now it is your turn. You ask the questions and you clear the doubts. Any of you? Any doubts? Branch managers, senior managers, ask your team if they have any doubts, they can ask me now. You can even explain in your own language.